Hello. I hope this internet connection is going to be good enough, guys. Welcome in. I may be like lagging and freezing. I'm not, it's not looking promising so far. And an artist, welcome in. So, myself out here, and I know I kind of am in real time here. It's kind of lagging a little bit. Hi, Jelly Bean Paris. I'm actually so glad that tons of you aren't chatting yet because I can at least say something first before I start greeting everybody. Wait a minute. I spoke too early. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Brian. But anyway, welcome in. Happy Saturday. And I am in my new Airbnb. It's like a closet thing behind me there. It doesn't have great lighting in here, so I know I looked all washed out and pale. I'm like blending into the closet behind me, and that's okay. It's like, hi, Sandra. Hi, Susie. Hi, S Street, Tracy, and Angie. Anyway, welcome in from all your parts of the U.S. and the rest of the world. Hi, Busy Bumblebee. Anyway, yeah, I moved yesterday, so I'll tell you something about that. Although, actually, there will be a video coming out tomorrow that goes into more detail about the day of before my move and the day of my move. So I won't go into as much detail as the video has. Yes, Brian, I do have a balcony and view. In fact, I actually have a better view here than I did at my last place, which is nice. Hi, Pamela J. Hi, Diana by the beach and Devon. Hi, Kai. You're back in Oslo. Amy, Maria, Toy 2, Rentvale. Hi, Maria. Welcome from Finland. And John, see you too. Welcome in, buddy. So anyway, yeah. Laura in Amsterdam. How come you're not in Amsterdam? You're in Portland. Were you in Amsterdam at one time? Hi, Julia. Hi, Anna. Noreen, Sonata. Oh, you were We Join? You renamed yourself? Okay. Hi, Sonata 909. Josephine, Edel, and Pamela again from Sweden. I get a bunch of you from Scandinavia. I love that. Thank you guys for joining. I've been watching this new channel. I actually don't remember the name of it, but this guy is like, I think he's German, but he lived in Canada for a long time. And then he's gone to Sweden to find a house to buy, I think. And I love watching people like finding a new place to settle. Doesn't matter where. It's always interesting to me. So anyway, I've been watching that. Hi, Cheryl, HFCK, Jose Eduardo, welcome in. Florida. That's funny. Hi, Lee. Yeah, it's hot all over Europe right now. I think it's hot all over the US. Let me know. Actually, if you're actually in a part of the world where it's not hot right now, let me know that. Because I think most of us are definitely overheated right now. So, hi, Annie and Susan. Yeah. Oh, did he buy the red house? And well, they're all red houses, aren't they? Jelly Bean? Yeah, I can't remember the name of the channel, honestly. If you can remember it, you can share it on here. But yeah, they're all, I think most of the houses are red in Sweden, in the rural areas, at least. It's not hot in Sweden. See, why am I not there? Oh, I'm still in Albania, Cynthia. I'm just at a different Airbnb now. Yeah, it's just hot. Oh my God. I guess they had some sort of like some real warnings in Spain or something because of the heat. And then actually, they've backed off the forecast a little bit here. I thought we were already going to be over 100 degrees, which is that like 38 Celsius or something? Anyway, we're up around 36 Celsius right now, high 90s, and it's miserable. And so I'm not doing a whole lot. I mean, I almost got like Well, I did get overheated 2 days ago, and, yesterday, I didn't have to stay out in it too long in the move. I was out in it a bit in the heat, but, today I just went down, got a sandwich at there's a little, pastry goodie shop, but they also make sandwiches in there. And so I've been going down there because there's not really restaurants near where I am, which is one of the things I already knew about it when I moved over here. But at least that little shop is there. And so I get a sandwich for like 250 lek, which is probably about $3 for a nice like sub sandwich. And so I got one yesterday and I got one today. And I'm thinking most days I may be having a sandwich right now because I don't know where to else to go eat right now. So, oh, my screen froze temporarily. Oh, I'm back. Anyway, hi, Devon. Hi, Sandra, Mariana. Yeah, Pamela J says Boston was 100 plus degrees. Yeah, this is if this is a sign of the summer, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Nordic Light, that's right. Make us all feel bad about your wonderful 68 Fahrenheit temperature in Sweden. That's where I'd love to be right now, let me tell you. Yeah, because I just didn't think about the heat that much when I came to Albania. I knew it would get hot, of course, by mid-July into August. I knew that it was gonna be hot. I just didn't think it would get hot like the beginning of June. And it started getting hot almost when I got here. And it's been hot ever since. So the problem is it really cuts into my ability to go do things because of the heat, because I just don't do well. We'd never book a Airbnb in the summer without air conditioning. So yeah, there's air conditioning. If the power stays on, it's just, um, thank you guys for sharing your temperatures there. Hi, Josephine. You've got humid. Well, it's not dry here, to be honest with you. The heat here, I've lived in dry heat because I used to live in Arizona. And even where I lived in Northern California, it was kind of a dry heat in the summer. But no, it's a little more humidity here. So I wouldn't say it's like Florida kind of humidity, but it's about 40, 50% is the sensation of it. So it's not dry. And it's just not good. Yeah. I'm sorry, Susan, I can't do anything about the buffering. Every time I go to a new place and I have internet, it's always like a toss up. I think I've had problems in most places I've stayed. Even though they say that well, I should be on now. Can everybody see me right now? Hi, Jean-Marc. Amy, yeah, it's okay. Watch the video tomorrow and you'll find out the big problem I have with it. I can share with you a couple things that I didn't put on that video, which I kind of have a problem with. Every Airbnb has its pluses and minuses. That's just the way it is. So this one, the kitchen's a little frustrating because, my last place I was at, I actually did cook a little bit there. The place I was at there for 2 weeks, did a little bit of cooking there. I really did like the kitchen. The fridge was small, but it was the roomiest kitchen I've had, and it had, most of the things I would need. This place is back to smaller side, and I can't even reach the dishes. They're up on this really high shelf in the cupboard. And honestly, you just can't even reach them, and there's no step stool. So I can't get on like a chair. I'll collapse the chair. So, and I could fall. So I'm not going to do that, but I can't reach the dishes. So I might have to ask my host to come by and move the dishes down to a lower shelf for me so I can reach them. But it doesn't have a microwave either, but it has the biggest refrigerator I've had on this whole trip. It's got almost a US sized refrigerator. I mean, it's narrow, but it's tall. So it's got plenty of refrigerator room, but the rest of it is not real, great. So, Sanada, I don't know what to tell you. Other people say they can see me fine. So, um, well, I would actually rather just ask her to bring the plates down and put them on the lower shelf, actually, so that I don't have to risk myself. Well, Jean-Marc, I'm supposed to be here for 8 weeks. And if you watch the video tomorrow, you'll know why that's going to be a challenge. And then today, the other bad thing, first of all, let me tell you the good things. The good things are it's a very lovely apartment. It's very, very clean. It's new. All the places I've stayed at, except for that place in Perpignan, the cruise ship cabin, you remember that. Every other place I've stayed has been, fairly good. The balcony is great. The view's great. The bed's very comfortable, really comfortable. The last place I stayed, the bed was the main thing I didn't like. Everything else about the place I really liked. And so, but today I found out that I took a shower and washed my hair, and I found out that the shower stall, and it actually has an actual shower stall with doors, unlike the last place I was at. It just started backing up and filling up with water. And so it means the drain isn't draining properly. And I'm like, that's a bummer. So I am going to have to say something to the host about that because I can't even take a proper shower without risking flooding the bathroom. So anyway, that's very strange. Yeah, Jean-Marc, it was that the cruise ship cabin in Perpignan was very odd. It was an odd situation, but I dealt with that for 4 weeks. So I don't know. I adapt to every place. That is good here. No Nordic Light. I do not have restaurants in the area. I knew that was already going to be a problem here. There is a little pastry shop downstairs, which I just mentioned that I get like a sandwich at, which I didn't know that they had that, but that's good. And there is a little market across from there. It's not a very well stocked food market, but it's got some things. To go to like what's called a big market, which is kind of their supermarket here. My last place I stayed at just had one down the street. This one, I'm going to have to walk about 10, 15 minutes to get to one. And I got to do it early in the morning. I might do that tomorrow and go before it gets too hot because I just can't, watch that. I don't know why the screen's going black for some of you. I see it and it's fine on my end right now. So can somebody tell me if they can actually see me, because I'm seeing me and I'm not frozen or anything. Please, somebody tell me you can see me, because I've got now 3 people telling me the screen's black. Okay, so I don't know why it's happening to some of you and not others. So I have no explanation, guys. I hope you're not trolling me or something. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I can tell when the screen freezes because I can see that myself. So, okay, thank you, guys. You don't have to keep telling me. I just had to ask because I had like 3 or 4 people tell me they couldn't, that the screen was black, which, yeah, yeah. Okay, thank Robinar. I'm glad you refreshed. Yeah, sometimes it's not on my end. It is on someone at the viewer's end. So just, you may have to do that. Oh, is that what it is, Annie? The screen goes black when the ads kick in? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have any control over that. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, it hasn't been buffering since the very beginning. So, hey, Kat. Hey, Sherpa. Kat Z calls me Sherpa. It's because I'm a Sherpa. I have to lug my bags all over the frickin' place. Yeah, the internet speed. I don't think this is super fast internet here. I haven't had too much problem watching things, like watching YouTube myself. So it's not too bad. But for streaming like this, it kind of needs more. I know I missed a couple of questions earlier, guys. I'm sorry. Ciara asked, what's the status of the tooth? Well, but I know I got to get it taken care of. So I am calling the place Monday to get in to see the oral surgeon to just get my, get him or her to, you know, do any additional pictures of the tooth to make sure they can get it out safely. And then I'm going to probably have extracted the following week. That's the plan. So yeah, life over 80. I don't have any control over that. The image doesn't match the voice. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just the internet, I'm coming to you from a galaxy far, far away. It's just so what was oh, I was gonna say somebody did ask me like why I was in Albania. So yeah, I'm in exile here. I've been exiled. It's a self-imposed exile. I have to be here to get out of the Schengen zone. That's the short answer. I can't go back in the Schengen zone till about at least August 23rd or something. So it's yeah, the cat Z, that wouldn't work on my tooth. My tooth isn't even loose. It's going to be hard to just get out of there, honestly. So hi Christopher. Hi Kathleen, Kathy. Thanks, John. Well, I cracked myself up. If you can't make yourself crack up, what point is there? So, yeah, Kathy, I did talk about it a little already. It's okay. It's watch the video that comes out tomorrow, though. It'll explain a big problem that occurred that I only found out about the night before I moved over here. So there is a big issue, but I think it's going to be okay. So when I'll any other questions you have, I'll address on the next live stream. I haven't seen really any neighbors, Kay. In fact, most places I've stayed. Oh, I can tell you now that I'm now at my other place. So I don't know if I shared this, but the place I was at the last 2 weeks, I loved the apartment. The bed could have been better, but the apartment was okay. And I was very nice and very clean, it's very white. Uh, much whiter than even this place. But and the building was nice. It was a new building. The elevators were really like large and they were like very nice, but I had two big problems. The walls were paper thin there, like paper thin. And so the guy in the apartment above me, the whole time I was there during the day at various times of the day, was doing like remodeling or construction up there or whatever. And there's like the noise of like saws and tools and hammering and just I mean, it wasn't happening at night, thank goodness, but it was happening off and on during the day. And so I had that. But the worst thing was that on the other side of me, there was this family that lived in the apartment right next door that I know that was like a mother and a dad and at least two kids, like a young baby and a little bit older, maybe toddler, like 2, 3, something like that. Well, it was really scary because he would come home from work. I would hear the mom go out with the kids during the day. But he would come home from work and this guy was so angry. He was always yelling. And of course, it was in Albanian. So I didn't know what he was saying, but he was yelling. And then this one night, about 3 nights before I left there, I know there was some sort of domestic abuse going on next door. I could hear stuff being hit or thrown or banged. I didn't know what was going on. And I heard a kid crying over there. And I mean, I'm in a position like I don't speak Albanian. I don't feel comfortable calling the authorities when I'm in a foreign country. Like I didn't know what was going on. And it was so disturbing to me because I had to listen to this for at least an hour. And anyway, yeah, that was really disturbing. And I have not had that happen at any other place I've stayed. So I know that he really had, this guy had, I never saw him. I never saw the dad, but he obviously had some sort of anger issues, and there was some sort of abuse going on. But I mean, even if it was just verbal, I can't, I don't know, obviously, if there was any physical abuse. I do know he was hitting something over there. And I was like scared at some point that like he was going to, pound through the wall or something. Anyway. No, I'm probably Jean-Marc. I'm probably not going to say anything in my Airbnb review. Honestly, I just, when you're in another country, you just can't, if something I saw with my own eyes, then I might say something. But it's like, I don't really know what was going on for sure. I do know the kid was crying, and I do know there was a lot of yelling, and this was going on for over an hour. But anyway, so that was that. Yes, a bunch of you are commenting that yes, yeah, and it's true. It's the world is the same everywhere in the sense that domestic abuse occurs in every country in the world. It's not limited to one place. It happens, and you know, I don't know. HFC, I'm probably not going to alert the host because I didn't feel like it was really directly a threat to me. If it was something that was threatening to me and I didn't feel safe in the apartment, I mean, I my only fear was that he was going to like hit the wall and make a hole in the wall or something, but he didn't. So I'm not going to say anything because it didn't really affect me except that I had to hear that, and anyway, that's enough about that. But anyway, um, no, I'm not paying to listen to that. But you know what? It goes with the territory when you live in apartments. If you're in an Airbnb, you're generally a lot of times in an apartment. And, unfortunately, it goes with the territory. Now, this place is an older building, kind of like the first place I was staying, and the walls are thicker. And I haven't heard too much here so far. I did hear a little while ago, about an hour ago before I started the live stream, I heard some people next door. It sounded like there was a bunch of people that got together and they were all laughing over there and stuff like that. But now they seem to have left or something. So they're not over there. It is a Saturday night. So, it's fairly quiet. Hi, Bronwyn. Welcome in. Oh, I'm sorry you couldn't get back to sleep, but I'm glad you're tuning in. Oh, I'm sorry, Cynthia. I know. I personally have not been a victim of domestic violence myself, but as someone who used to be, I used to be a therapist, in the US, if I were in the US and I heard that, I would definitely call the police. I would. If I was next door to that in the US, I would have called the police. But in another country where I don't speak the language and I don't know what they even do, I just felt like that was that was way beyond what I should be doing. So anyway. I'm not coping well with the heat wave, Jean-Marc. I'm having to be indoors most of the time. So, which is fine. I have tons to do. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and make an announcement again, because I did put a community post up on this, but I have reactivated. I mean, it was still up, but I reactivated and renamed my spiritual channel. So for those of you who are interested in more spiritual stuff, I know a whole bunch of you did subscribe over there, but it's called Elder Gal Spirit. So it's associated with this channel, but it's a separate channel. So for those of you who want more spiritually related content, and it's all kinds of spiritual content. It's about, positive inspiration and stuff, but it's about meditation. It's about spiritual experiences. It's about supernatural experiences. It's about all kinds of things. So, anyway, just wanted to give a plug to Elder Gal Spirit. I just did put a video up there yesterday. There will be a video up every Friday on that, just one a week over there. It's not monetized or anything. I don't make any money for it, but it's, hopefully someday it will be monetized. I'm at almost 670 something subscribers. So if I get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, Elder Gal Spirit will be monetized. Oh, that is so weird that during the ads, the screen and audio are kicking out. That's just weird. Sorry about that, guys. I don't have any control of that. And that's the first time I seen that happen. Yeah, London artist. I would love to go to Ireland. I would have loved to have spent this. I wanted to spend the summer in the UK, or at least part of it. And I just, I had to, I knew I had to come here and get, I knew I couldn't afford it. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I am in the process of making plans for September before I go back to the US. And so I'll share those when it gets a little closer to the time. I just want to make sure everything's kind of solidified till I announce it on this channel. Um, yeah, yeah, it is tough when you're in another, I'm very aware that when you're in another culture in another country, you cannot act the same way you do in your own country. You have to just you know, you have to just kind of make a concerted, decision about what to do. So anyway, Jean-Marc, I'm only going to be in France again briefly in the end of August but I will be coming back to Europe. My plan right now, and again, I'm not going to give you the details of it, but I have a plan. So, I will be back in Europe. I will probably be going back to the US for about 2 months and maybe a little bit more. And then I will come back to Europe. So not if, when I come back to Europe, I do plan to spend some more time in France at some point. So, yeah. Yeah, Jean-Marc. Yeah, it's good that you're watching him too. Yeah, I know. Well, like I said, domestic violence occurs everywhere. So let me just share a little inspiration with you guys before we go on to anything else. So I wanted to start bringing back having an inspirational quote, at least for the video. So this one comes from C.S. Lewis. No, Jean-Marc, I'm not going back. This is my job. I'm doing my job right now. I'm not going back to work. This quote from C.S. Lewis is, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. How absolutely freaking true is that? And to add to that, that was kind of the reason I was looking for a quote along those lines is because yesterday when I came over here, I had a wonderful cab driver who I have an app called Speedy Taxi for Tirana, which if you're not near like a taxi stand or taxi station, the best way to get a taxi is through the app. It's kind of like almost like doing it's almost like doing Uber here, but it's taxis instead of Ubers. So anyway, this guy got the call and picked me up, and he didn't have any markings on his car. So at first I wasn't sure it was him, but the license plate matched and the name matched and whatever. But anyway, I guess he also drives for Speedy Taxi. But anyway, he so it was kind of like an Uber actually. But anyway, he picked me up. He spoke English, which was wonderful because I've had very few taxi drivers that speak much English. And he was in his 30s, but I had my guitar with me because I had to put my guitar in the back seat with myself so it wouldn't get crushed in the trunk. And so anyway, he said to me, he goes, "Oh, you play guitar?" And I said, "Yes, I do." I said, "I just bought this about a week or two ago because I needed to play while I'm here in Albania, and I'm going to still be here for 2 months." Well, anyway, so I said, "Do you play?" And he said, "No, I love music though. I wish I did play." And I said, "Well, you can always learn." And he said, "Well, how long have you been playing?" And I said, "Well, frankly, I've really only been playing the last 5 years because I said I started doing this when I was 65." And he goes, "Wow." He goes, "You know what? You're never too old to do something new." So even my taxi driver said that yesterday, and it really got me thinking that it's like, yes, absolutely. Never too old to do something new. Thank you, Donna, for telling people to press the like button. Yeah, we need to get those likes up. We're only 152 out of 319 viewing. But yeah, it's you know what? I'm so glad I took up music 5 years ago because it's just I would have missed out on this joy of my life. Jean-Marc, that's very sad about the 80-year-old waitress. Well, that typically that was in the US because people have to work forever because it's just getting so expensive. Carmen asked, how do you determine whether it's too expensive to live in? Well, mainly by the rent prices. So like if the Airbnbs are too expensive to go to, like in the summer, the UK and Ireland were too expensive. I just couldn't stay there in the summer. You just have to have a budget. You know what your limit is. That's how you decide if it's too expensive. I mean, if you have unlimited money and you can spend $3,000 a month for rent, great. I just can't do that. I know, Kay, absolutely. A lot of people have to work because they can't afford not to. Absolutely. I mean, I'm so grateful I have this channel. I'm grateful that this became my part-time job that goes along with my Social Security that I can at least, survive. It's not getting rich or anything at this point. I mean, if my channel blew up big time, I would, but for now, it's like, no. Oh, Susan said she took up concertina at age 67. See, there you go. Robinar, I don't use a budget app, but I do make my own budget on paper. Yeah, I have basically my own kind of spreadsheet and my own, I know what my expenses are going to be for the month. I keep within a certain window. And for a while, I was actually recording my daily expenses. I'll be honest, I kind of stopped doing that. But I tell you, my expenses are really low right now daily because going to the store, I'm only spending like today to get a sandwich and some stuff at the store, I spent about $7. If I was only spending $7 a day, for the month, that's pretty good. Yeah. So, oh, Jean-Marc, well, you need to build your channel. Are you posting regularly? I'm sorry, I haven't checked out your channel. So, I will have to do that. Yes, it is, Noreen, unless you're on low income, you get into low income HUD housing, which is not easy to do in the US. Yeah, Bronwyn does house sits. If I were going back to stay in the US, I would actually consider doing house sits and living out of a vehicle, at least for a while, but I'm not planning to do that at this point. So we'll see. House, yeah, okay. I'm just looking for you guys have any other questions? Oh. Yeah, Jean-Marc, you can tell people what your channel's called if you would like. It might just be Jean-Marc Bordeaux, which is his handle. So, right now, Carmen, I need one of the things I need to do is upgrade when I get back to the US as far as computer and stuff. But I just basically use my iPhone to film right now. I have another camera, which I still have not I'm going to be working on that now that I'm not having to move for a few weeks. But I just edit on my iPad with iMovie, and then I just upload to YouTube from there. And then I go on my laptop and make any other adjustments to the settings and stuff for the video. So no, Robinar, I've not learned any more Albanian yet. I will try to learn a few more words while I'm here. Anna, yeah, the Airbnbs, this is the cheapest one. The one I'm at right now is only about, I'm paying about $660 a month here at this one. So this is as cheap as that cruise ship cabin in Perpignan, basically. And so this is the cheapest. I mean, that's only like 20 something dollars a day, basically. So it's very inexpensive, which every time I climb the stairs, which you'll see in the video, I mean, you'll see me talking about in the video tomorrow. You'll see what I'm talking about. In fact, I might, on the thumbnail for that, I might take a picture of the stairs. There's some stairs, is all I'm saying. There wasn't supposed to be stairs, but there's stairs. So, but anyway, yeah, the price is right for this place. And I keep reminding myself that. So it's helping me conserve some income for July and August, which is good. Okay. Hard carrying groceries. Yes, Darlene, especially because here I'm going to have to go up some stairs. So I can't, like with waters, you have to drink bottled water here. You cannot drink out of the tap. It is not safe. And yeah, I'm basically, my rule right now is every time I go out, we have a little market across the way there, and I just have to get a liter of water every single day so that I don't have to carry more than one a day. Yeah, Jean-Marc, I will do a tour here at some point on this. I'll probably show you little bits of it as I go along instead of doing a full tour, because anytime I do an apartment tour on a video, the video doesn't do well. So it's unfiltered KC. You have to watch the video tomorrow. It will explain it. Let's say there's a partial elevator. It's just not covering the whole thing. Yeah. Yes, Maria, you're on top of things. The cruise ship cabin was in Dijon. Yeah, and that had a great elevator though. I will say that, but had a great view, but it was horrible. Yes, Karen, the Airbnb, the last one smelled really good, actually. I think they had like a diffuser in there or something, but it always smelled really good. This one smells really nice. They've all been remodeled. All three of the ones I've stayed at in Tirana here have been remodeled, nicely finished, very clean. I mean, I cannot, that has been consistent across all three, which is really nice. Yeah, I don't know, May. I feel like I just have to tell my host, because I don't know how she missed the fact that the shower drain is not draining well at all. So, I mean, it does eventually drain, but I mean, I wasn't even in there that long, and it's like it was threatening to spill over the thing. So, yeah. That's true, Noreen, but I don't like using clickbait if I can avoid it. Yeah, I would like to, Jean-Marc, but unfortunately, I've heard that a lot of the Albanian buses don't have air conditioning. And in this heat, there's no frickin' way I'm doing that. That's the problem. Yeah. Oh, Jack May, you're making me feel like I'm missing the clotted cream and the scones. Yeah, there's been TV everywhere, but I don't watch TV. I just watch stuff on my laptop here, so I don't really use it. I'll be honest. I don't think the store could arrange that, Allie Mo. I don't think the stores here do delivery. Plus, this store here, nobody speaks English in there, so it's we do hand gestures, and I say "Fala which is the thank you to them, and you know, I don't know that they even do deliveries, honestly. I'll just take a liter every day and just bring it up, and I'll be fine. I've got 2.5 liters in the fridge right now. So I'll be ahead of things. I drink about a liter a day. So, you know. Oh, let's see. How's the waiting time for a new visa once I'm back? Well, I will get to that. I'm going to be applying for something a little different right now as the way things stand right now. So I actually don't even need to apply the way I did before. So that's all I can really say about that right now, but I'll tell you more as it gets closer. Oh, you can't drink the tap water here, Jean-Marc. It's not like France. No, you cannot. They even tell you that in Albania. Everybody drinks bottled water here. They have so many different types of bottled water in the stores, you wouldn't believe it. So I'm getting the steps in. I actually noticed today I got up the stairs easier than I did yesterday. So I figure if I climb this giant flight of stairs I have to do every day, I think that it will get easier. And, you know, I'm trying to look on the positive side of it. It's given my muscles and my legs a different workout. So, yeah. Yeah. Any other questions you guys have? I know I probably missed a few. Uh, yeah, well, I don't know what Marty asked, but no, it's not. It's kind of like being an exile here. I just mentioned that earlier. It's a self-imposed exile, imposing it on me. But I kind of have to be here. I mean, there's not, if I didn't, I mean, yeah, could I get on a plane and come back to the US at any time? Sure. But then what? I still have to pay to stay somewhere in the US. I don't have a place to go back to. So that doesn't really work either. Plus, I don't want to have the higher dental costs to get some dental stuff done. So, yeah. Some places otters do recycle. The first place I stayed in Albania, where you drop your trash outside, they have like dumpsters. They actually had different dumpsters for like plastic and stuff. But the last place I was at did not. This place doesn't seem to. So I don't think they're big on recycling overall. Um, No, I have air conditioning, Bubble Mix. I would not exist without the air conditioning. Oh, sorry. Here's Lucy. Yeah, she's right here. She said she always tunes into the live stream. She's always right here. So she's hanging out. It's about 660 or so for the month, Noreen. No, it's per month. So it's about 660 a month, which is still really good. So yeah, there's the Google Translate KJR that translates, but it's not, yeah. You kind of have to use the speaking function at all. And then the problem is I have to have it's just awkward to use. I've noticed most places don't use it. And most places I go to that there's younger people working, there is someone that speaks English for the most part. So it's not a big problem. The taxis are a problem. Oh, I was going to add something about the driver. So yesterday I had that wonderful driver, and he actually gave me his card because he said, if you want to do any longer trips, like I can take you over to Duras or whatever. He said, because his car was really nice and it was air conditioned and whatever. And he said, just give me a call and I can schedule that. So that's really nice. So especially because I am going to have to go over to Duras when I leave, because I'm going to take the ferry to Italy. That's the one thing I can go ahead and tell you now. When I do leave here, I'll be taking the ferry over to Italy. So yeah. So I probably will get him to take me because it's only about a 40-minute ride. And I'd rather pay that and be comfortable than get on a bus that may not have air conditioning. So Maria asked if I've met any expats yet. No, I am meeting up with two viewers. I don't think they're in the live stream, but two viewers who are from Australia who are coming. I think they're arriving in Toronto today, and they will be staying here for a couple months. So I'll be meeting them probably this week, actually. So yeah. Mary, it all depends. The plans for any travel in the next week depends on the weather and how hot it is. We're supposed to have this bad heat thing for a couple of weeks. It also depends on when I get this tooth pulled. So I would like to go over to North Macedonia, to that Lake Ohrid. I don't, everybody says it. I don't know how to say it. And I would like to go there, country. Um, so, because September is still going to, cost me a chunk just to do what I'm going to do in September before I get back to the US. So I'm just very aware of the costs right now. Unstable, please stay tuned while we're reconnecting. I haven't frozen yet on my own screen, but it's, I don't know if you guys can see me. So, yeah, Jeanette. Yeah, I just can't get to most of the beach communities. It's just not feasible for me right now. With it, if it wasn't so hot to get anywhere in this country right now, it would be easier. This was not a great time to come to Albania. It's just, unfortunately, that's how the scheduling worked out for me, to be in a non-Schengen. If I were coming back to Albania, I think sometime in the spring or fall would be great. But it's not great in the summer. So okay. Just barter for guitar lessons. I don't feel competent to give guitar lessons, Jim, but thanks for saying that. I'm very basic with guitar. I know about 15 chords, I'd say 15, 16 chords. I don't read music or anything. So yeah, I didn't bring a swimsuit, Terry, and I don't really swim. I mean, I do swim. I have an inner ear disorder, so I don't really go swimming anymore because I can't get my ears wet underwater, if that makes any sense. I've had an inner ear disorder since I was in my mid-20s, and so I can't get my ears wet, basically. It's weird. I never usually talk about it, but when I used to be a fish swimming when I was a kid. Oh man, I miss it. I do. I miss it. I used to love to swim, but I just can't really do it anymore. Plus, I don't really want to be seen in a bathing suit with being overweight. So there's that. It's like I'm very, cognizant of that. Karen, you probably could, but I'm not going to get senior housing assistant. I make too much money for that right now. I gave up that when I started getting a YouTube income. So I wouldn't qualify really for most of it anymore. Oh, yeah, Melanie, I remember the good old Pacific Northwest. I used to live in the Seattle area. So yeah, I know it usually stays pretty cool. I think when I lived in Seattle, we only had a few summers where it got up to even close to around 100 or so. So yeah. Yeah, I'm considering other things. Um, Probably not living in Morocco, though. I would like to visit Morocco, but not at this time of year. It's it's even hotter there than it is here. I I wouldn't be doing that. Yeah, Devon, there's that issue too. Okay, well, we're going to go, we're getting about 50 minutes. So we're going to go about 10, 15 minutes more. I'm not happy with the connection today. On not you guys, I'm talking about on the internet here. It's worrying me that I'm going to lose it at some point. So, yes, Jeanette, let me address what Jeanette said. It is true. I have to say, one of the pleasant surprises on this whole trip has been the kindness of the Albanian people, by and large. The majority of people I have met, even when they don't speak English, are incredibly kind. In fact, I'll share this little story with you because I didn't include it in the video that's coming out tomorrow. I cut that shorter, so I didn't include this. But when I was trying to get back I went and got the case for my guitar so I could transport it. And then I got something to eat and I had to walk almost a mile back to my other Airbnb, which also was far from restaurants and stuff. Anyway, I stopped at to ask this cab driver if he could take me back so I wouldn't have to walk in the heat all the way back to where I was staying. And he said, no, I'm waiting for, this was at a hotel. And he said, I'm waiting for these, a flight crew. And he said, and he spoke English. He was an older guy in his 50s probably, but he spoke English. And he said, oh, well, I can help you get a taxi. And he jumps out of his cab because he was parked in a little like driveway thing. And he goes out to the road. And for a good solid 5 minutes, he tried to flag down a cab for me, even though I didn't ask him to. I mean, he just was being kind. It was just amazing. And I finally had to go over to him because he couldn't do it. I mean, they wouldn't stop. And because it was like lunchtime. And apparently he told me that at lunchtime, it's really hard to catch a cab in Tirana. So anyway, he came back and he said, oh, I'm so sorry. I was trying, I really want you to get a cab. I said, no, it's okay. I can walk back. I just have to like rest in the shade a couple times. And he says, oh, well, have a good day. And he was just so kind. He went out of his, I mean, you wouldn't see that often in the US, to somebody go out of their way to help you when they don't have to. So thank you, London Artist, for sharing that, my other channel name. Yes, Unfiltered. In hindsight is 2020. Absolutely. It would have been probably better to go to Albania first. But yeah, I didn't realize it got this hot. Like, I just thought, yeah, it's going to be hot for a month and a half or something. It's not going to be too bad. Yeah. Yeah, Donna, I would not personally ever live back in the Seattle area. I lived there throughout the 80s. I lived there until 92. It's changed so much. I don't really like it anymore in that area, and it's very expensive still. And I would not qualify for affordable housing. But if you're putting that up for other people to look at, that's great. Oh, that's very nice, Izzy 1107. So you've got a visa then to go to Spain and Leon? Isn't that in the northern Spain? I think that's on the Camino route, isn't it? That goes through Leon. Leon. Anyway, yeah, Jean-Marc says in the US they would step over you nowadays. Well, in some places, yeah. In some cities like New York, they probably would. And I just cannot say enough about the kindness of, I've had so many kind people over here that are Albanian. Even the ones that don't speak English try to be kind. We have a language issue and they're still trying to be really kind. Now, that's not saying there hasn't been anybody rude here. Yeah, there's been probably a couple of people in stores that were that worked in the store that weren't that nice. When they realized I didn't speak Albanian, let's put it that way. But for the most part, most people have been really, really nice. And Unfiltered, no, I'm not going to share the exact name of the town, but I just lived in a small town in Northern California. So it's just, it's in the whole Sierra Nevada region there. But the only reason I don't want to share it is I still have my stuff there. I'm still going to go back there and probably visit for a while and stuff. If I ever don't go back there, I will definitely share it. I have to always be kind of cautious about, because you never know, on the internet, when you put your life out here on the internet, you never know, what nutcase is going to, do something. So, especially in the US. So anyway. Well, that's good, Jack, that people were nice in the US, but it has changed. I mean, I think people used to be nicer. I think, it used to be better in the US than it is now. I remember growing up and stuff. But anyway, the Albanian people, they're very soft-hearted. They very much want to, like even my host, you'll see in the video tomorrow, I won't go into the whole story about it, but she went kind of above and beyond to help me out yesterday. And when she realized what was going on. And so I really appreciate that. And I thanked her profusely for that. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, Canadians especially are very helpful. You know, for those of you that are watching from Canada, I cannot say enough good things about Canadians. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying there's a lot, it's different when it's not really built into the culture in the US to be as hospitable or helpful to people in need. Now, it is in some parts of the US historically. Like my mother's was from the South, and in the Southern US, people generally were much more hospitable and helpful historically. I think that's even changed some now, but yeah, there's definitely in parts of the US like New York City, people generally are ruder. That's just, you know, it's part of the culture. Oh, Dara says you're a transplant, but yeah, Canadian. Come on, nicest people. Really, most people in the world would agree with you that the Canadians are like some of the nicest people, most polite people. I mean, even when they've gotten mad at the U.S. lately, they don't even do it in a really horrible way. It still like has a tinge of politeness to it. It's adorable, actually. It's just adorable. I love Canadians. And I used to go to Canada a lot when I lived in Seattle. So anyway. Yeah. Anyway, any last questions or anything? Any other questions you guys asked? Maybe that you asked earlier and I didn't see it or get to it because I know some people asked some stuff that I missed. Oh, I wanted to give a couple of announcement things too. I'm not going to do it this coming Tuesday, but I am actually going to probably do an extra live stream a week on Tuesday nights. I mean, Tuesday nights, my time. And so I will be doing that probably for like 4 weeks in July. Now that I'm sorry, I got to take some water here. Let's see. Any other questions? Oh, oh, Canada. I don't know the whole "Oh, Canada." I just know that first line. So, anyway, any other questions you guys have for me? But yeah, I will be doing an extra live stream, not this coming Tuesday, but I am going to do it possibly the next Tuesday. Of course, again, if we can, you know, if we have these kind of connection problems, I don't know why YouTube is going black when they do the ad thing. It may just be a glitch on YouTube tonight, so it may not be something that continues. Oh, Jim's saying there's a channel called The Narrow Gate by an American couple in Toronto opening a coffee shop. Really? Narrow Gate. Okay, I'll have to check them out. Oh, John Mark is King Charles. I know he has cancer, but they're really announcing the funeral plans? Okay. On Unfiltered KC, I don't know about shaved ice. They do have ice cream most places, and they do sell gelato here. But I've got to say, I tried the gelato at one place, and I was not impressed. It wasn't like the gelato in France. I'm just saying. So, yeah. Oh, Kind Mind asked, how long was I without water at the last place I stayed? It was really only for like about 2-3 hours, I think. Um, it wasn't bad, and I didn't have any further problems. So I think because they were doing construction on the building, I think they probably shut the water off to do something is my I thinking, but I never got a complete explanation. So no, the king didn't die, Devon. But he is dealing with cancer, and apparently it's not like cured. So I guess they're thinking that he's kind of living with cancer for, you know, because he's already in his upper 70s, right? Yeah, late 70s. Oh, they're in Vlore, Connie, Narrowgate. Okay, well that's by the ocean. That would make sense. A coffee shop would probably do really well there. Oh, that's interesting. Annie says the black screen happens on the iPad, but not on the Android phone. Yeah. So I guess it depends what you're watching it on. M asks a question for anybody who knows this. She asked, I heard if you speak French, you can get a visa in Quebec, Canada. Anyone knows about this? I think no. I think they're stricter on their visa requirements in Canada generally. So I don't know, but let's have a Canadian answer that. Is the traffic awful on the bridges? Uh, I don't know where you're asking that for. You're asking here, Pamela, or you're asking someone else? Oh, I know, Jack May. Well, no, I'm very to have to take it easy in the heat. I've had heat stroke before in my life. I really don't handle heat well. And the other day, yeah, day before yesterday, I really tested my limits on that. I had to walk 2 miles, and the last mile of it coming back to where I was staying it was probably already 95 degrees out. It was horrific. And I have a hat and everything, but it didn't matter. It just the heat was oppressive. So yeah. Oh, row E. Okay, you were asking row E. I don't know where the bridges are. Okay. So far so good, Jeanette. The AC is working fine, knock on wood, because I'm superstitious. As long as we have power, it's going fine. So okay. Okay, any other last questions or anything? Even ask a question regarding something that you want to know for yourself or um, yeah, heat stroke is real. I had a really bad episode of heat stroke when I moved to where I lived in California back in 2018. Oh my God. It was so bad. I was coming from Arizona and I was in Bullhead City, Arizona, because my stuff was in storage there. And it was like 110 out or something. And I had to load up a U-Haul with my stuff in a storage unit. It was just boxes and bins. It wasn't any furniture. But I got sick. I mean, I really got sick from it. And I think I had to actually call and get someone to physically help do that the next morning because I couldn't do it. So I had to actually hire somebody and pay somebody to load the rest of the stuff up because I just was so unwell. And I fortunately recovered from that. It took a couple of days to feel, kind of normal, but yeah. Annie, thanks for asking about my plans for the week. Today I did editing and stuff on a video. I've got a lot of videos. I got a lot of idios, people. And Lucy says, "What? Are you okay, Mom?" Yeah, I'm fine. But I have a bunch of videos to do, and I want to get ahead on my videos for this channel if possible. I am going to meet up with those viewers this week. I'm probably going to the dentist this week. I'm going to try to go out for a couple of decent lunches this week. And otherwise, just be working. I got work to do on this channel, so I got to do that. And yeah, I have a cotton bandana somewhere, kind mine, but I have to dig it out. I think it's in the part of my suitcase that I don't, I put the clothes in I'm not really wearing right now. So I got to dig that out because I need to carry that with me because I can always wet that and put that like around my neck or, whatever. So yeah. Yeah, it's a thing. Oh, Jeanette, thank you very much. That's very kind. Very kind of you. Thank you. Anyway, Jean-Marc, so yeah. Oh, anyway, somebody just responded to you, or you're responding to someone else. Yeah, yeah, the heat stroke thing is real. I had really bad. I had sun. I had a really bad sunburn when I was 10 years old. My mom and my sister and I, well, no, I was more like 12 years old. We were staying in Miami Beach. And I was a fish back then. I used to swim in the ocean and everything, had no fear, that kind of thing. And but I didn't have sunscreen and I got the worst burn of my life, like really bad. And my mom had to actually, we were staying in a send a doctor up to just make sure I was okay. And fortunately I was okay. I mean, I didn't really have, but I mean, I was in pain. I don't know that I actually had heat stroke at that point, but man, that was the worst sunburn I ever had in my life. So it kind of scared me. I didn't want to ever have that again. So oh, thanks HFC. Vagabond Awake. Dan recently interviewed a guy about a house in an orchard in Northeast Albania. Huh. Yes, I do have a sun hat, guys. I do. You'll see it in the video tomorrow. I'm wearing it at the very beginning. So, yeah, I did never, by the time I was a teenager, I never really did sunbathing. I never really got hardly any tans or anything because after I had that really bad burn, it really scared me. I was like, wow. And I had my best friend in high school. She was one of those that always had to get like a dark tan in the summer. And we'd go down and sit at the pool and I would be totally covered up so that I didn't get a tan. Yeah, I just, been a couple of times in my life as an adult that I got a tan, but it's been very minimal. So, yeah. No, I'm not sure they had sunscreen back in the late 60s, early 70s, actually. My friend that used to like bake in the sun, she literally put on baby oil, which is just kind of like basting yourself. It's like basting yourself and putting, but it's definitely not dry right now. It's kind of in the middle. Yeah, well, I still am at risk. They say if you have a couple of burns as a kid or whatever, you're still at risk for skin cancer. So I have gotten checks. I think my last skin check was about a year and a half ago or something. So I still get checked, and I'm still at risk, even though I'm pretty careful about it now. Um, so yeah, baby oil. I know. Oh God, I couldn't. I never used that. I never did. I always thought that just seems crazy. Like aren't you just enhancing the burn ability there? And amazing. I don't know if that friend. I haven't known her for about 10 years now. I think she's still alive, but I'm thinking, man, she's definitely a skin cancer risk. There's no question because of all of her, you know, baby oil burning practices and throughout her teens. So yeah. Anyway. Okay, well, I think we'll wrap it up today. Make sure you watch my video tomorrow and then I'll have another one out Wednesday and we'll do a live stream again next Saturday. So I hope all of you have a wonderful week. I wish someday I'll actually be able to do a live stream when I have a great internet connection. Wouldn't that be amazing? Like super fast speed. Anyway, if you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button before we go. So, oh no, back to black. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, thank you all for being here. I love it when you're in the live stream. It really makes live streams really make my week as far as just mentally, because I wish I could hear you, like I could hear your voices, but just reading your comments, it makes me feel like I get to know some of you, especially if you're in here every week. And so I really appreciate that. Lucy says adios. And I say au revoir. Goodbye. Oh, thank you, Rhoda. I'm glad. Thank you for commenting for the first time. I really do. I love, you know, this has become like a sense of family to me on this channel, especially with people that have been watching for a long time. So I really do appreciate it. It's not the best form of communication. You know what I'm hoping to do? I do. Okay, I'm going to give another shameless plug to my Patreon, but on my Patreon, which is slowly building, the goal is to be on there and eventually do like some Zoom calls and stuff with viewers where we can actually see and talk to one another. That's the eventual goal over there, so that I actually have screen time with people and we actually can communicate one-on-one. So I will be doing that eventually over there on Patreon when I get a few more people over there. So anyway, thank you guys, all of you. Thank you, Jean-Marc and Rose Grace thank you, Rose Grace. I appreciate that. I know. Well, we're actually down to 296. We've just lost a bunch of people. I didn't see Jeff Expat. Did I miss you, Jeff? Anyway, if I did, hi, welcome in, buddy. Oh, thank you all. I'm just reading your goodbyes over here. Oh, Marty, what does that mean? Mirupavshim? Is that Albanian? Mirupavshim? Anyway, thank you all for being here, and I will definitely see you next Saturday, and I'll have an update for you. Like I said, I'll let you know how things go, and it's been great to see all of you. Have a great week. Take care, all of you too, and be kind to people, and